Other people's children are the greatest birth control of all time. You hear me? Them little son bitches beat out Plan B by a long shot. Let me tell y'all a little story about what didn't happen to Zach, okay? I got a good friend of mine. Me and him travel all over the nation together doing comedy shows. His name's Dustin Sims. If you don't know who he is, look his ass up. He's a funny motherfucker. But Dustin be getting to me in some shit sometimes. About for the last year, I've gotten real close with him and his family, and he has been begging me for as long as I can remember to come up to his house and go do some fishing. Because he literally just wants to cut the phones off for a day, not talk about social media, not talk about work, not talk about tour, just go fishing. And I think that's a great idea. Well, I had a little bit of time over the July 4th holidays, and I decided I was gonna call up my buddy and say, hey, D, can I still ride up? He said, man, you got an open invitation. Come on and ride up. So I rode up to North Alabama where old boy lives, and we just, you know, sitting in his house drinking a beer, chewing the fat, shit like that. And Dustin live on a big ass farm, right? Like he got chickens and goats and hogs and cows and horses and all that type of shit, which ain't nothing to me because I come from a farm life myself. But he looks over at me when we in there drinking us a beer. He said, hey man, we gotta go outside and feed all the animals. You wanna come? And I told him, I said, there's a pig's pussy pork. Fuck yeah, I wanna go. Let's ride. So we walk outside. Me, him, his whole family walk outside. Okay? And we're out there and we already fed the cows and the hogs and the chickens and the goats and all that type of stuff. And he looks over at me and said, hey, look, man, can you watch my son for just a minute? Because me and the wife got to run down to the back pasture and go feed the horses. And I told him, I said, man, ain't nothing to this, all right? I got a little nephew. I watch him all the time and don't shit go wrong. All right, I got this. Y'all go feed the horses. I'll watch little man. So they take off to the back pasture to go feed the horses, right? And I'm just kind of petting the goat's head. And I'm looking at the hogs and I'm kicking the chickens and shit like that. I'm just having me a good old damn time. I took my eyes off of this child for like 20 seconds. And apparently the goat knew what was going on. I don't think this is the first time this shit's happened. Okay, because the goat has now backed its ass up, like right up against the fence. And by the time I turned around in them 20 seconds that I took my eyes off of this child, okay, Dustin's son now has his index finger 3 knuckles deep in this goat's asshole. And I freaked the fuck out, y'all. I don't know what to do at this point. Okay, I'm not trained for this. So I run over to him and I'm like, no, buddy. That's nasty. Put your hand out of that. I wiped his hand off. I said, that's bad. You don't want to do that. This kid just looks at me, stone-faced, and goes, ha! Quick! Right back in that goat's asshole, he put them fingers. He used 2 fingers on the second time. I guess he loosened them up a little bit. All right, so I freaked the fuck out. I don't know what the hell's happening right now. I don't know how to deal with this said situation. So I hollered down the damn pasture. I'm like, D! Dustin! He looks at the pasture. He's like, what? I said, it's your son, man. It's your son. Without skipping a beat, Dustin goes, he got his finger in the goat's ass again, don't he? Yeah! He said, don't worry about it. It's an Alabama thing. He does it all the time. I said, I don't think I'm cut out for this shit. I'm going back to Mississippi where shit makes fucking sense. If this is how parenting is, which I don't have any kids that I know of, but if this is the type of shit that I have to deal with when having a kid is making sure that it ain't just randomly putting its finger in random damn animals' assholes, I think I'm going to stay cool, Uncle Zach. Because I ain't cut out for this shit. Because that ain't in the Parenting 101 handbook or the Parenting for Dummies. I done read both of them, okay? I had a class in college. Don't fuck with me. I ain't about this life. Shit. Think I'm playing.